Hey everyone, welcome to Pai's Kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you another version of Filipino adobo. So a while ago I posted my original chicken adobo and many of you have told me about a variation that you guys like to make in your families. Now two of those really stood out to me. That's adobo with coconut milk and adobo with pineapple. And I thought, pineapple and coconut milk go really well together already, so what if I put both of those in my adobo? And I tried it and it is fantastic. I'm pairing it with pork belly, which goes so well. That fatty tenderness goes really well with pineapple. So I'm super excited to share it with you. Let's get started. So I've got some pork belly here that I've cut into big cubes. And remember, this will shrink quite a bit, so make sure it's bigger than you want it to be at the end. I'm going to start by just searing these just so they get nice browning, develop some flavor around the pork. Just a little bit of oil. The pork's going to render out a lot of fat on its own, but I like to add some oil just to get it started. There you go. You want to hear that sizzling sound. And depending on the size of your pot or how much you're making, you might need to do this in a few batches. You don't want to crowd this because the minute you overcrowd the pot, you're not going to get browning because it's going to trap too much steam. Oh yes, nice and brown like that. Woohoo! So I've got my pork done up here. It's really smelling really good. Now, in my pot here, I have browned pork yumminess. If you feel like this is too much pork fat, you can definitely get rid of it. And I'm gonna sear my onion, saute my onions with it. And I just wanna cook these until they're nice and translucent. And I'm just gonna go in with a pinch of salt because the salt helps draw out the liquid from the onions and they soften faster once there's a little bit of salt in it. My garlic, lots of garlic. Give that a minute to infuse, and now I'm going to deglaze this whole thing with coconut milk. Oh yes. And as you can see, it's picking up all that browned goodness around the pot. It's like grilled pork flavor. I'm going in now with soy sauce. I'm using Filipino soy sauce for this to stick with the theme, but you can definitely use Japanese soy sauce for this, like the Kikkoman would work. Thai soy sauce a little light for adobo, so I would not use that. And now, adobo is all about the salty and sour balance. So I'm gonna add vinegar. This is Filipino cane vinegar, which tends to be a little smoother and milder than white vinegar. You can use white vinegar, maybe use a little less and just see where it's at. Rice vinegar would work. Try apple cider vinegar maybe. And this is the Filipino vinegar. So this is the brand, and that is what you want to look for right there. On the back, it does say cane vinegar. Now I'm gonna add a couple bay leaves for some flavor. Let those infuse in there. And lots of black pepper. There's no chilies in here, but you want a little bit of heat from black pepper. That gravy just looks so good already. Now, the pork is gonna go in. Try not to splatter the juices all over yourself. And now I'm gonna add just a little bit of water just so I have enough liquid to barely cover the pork. So I'm gonna let this simmer gently. We don't want it vigorously boiling for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. You want fork tenderness, so at an hour and a half, maybe give it a check. I'm also gonna keep it covered so I don't lose all my liquid. And now I know you're wondering, where's the pineapple she was so excited about? Well, pineapple coming right up. I am using fresh pineapple, fresh ripe pineapple, and it's really important if you're one of those people who are like, I don't do pineapple and savory food, no Hawaiian pizza for me. I hear you, but trust me, all the pineapple you've ever had on Hawaiian pizzas are canned, and it makes a huge difference when it's fresh. It's not as sweet, it's nice and tart, it doesn't clash with savory food. So give this one a try, okay? So I've got a pan here that just has a little bit of oil on it, and I'm just gonna put the piece of pineapple down. It can be my heat tester. All right, this little guy is bubbling. I'm gonna add the rest, and I'm not pouring it because I know I have collected juice at the bottom of the bowl, which I don't wanna add. I'm telling you, if you just saute some pineapple, caramelize some pineapple in butter, put that over ice cream, that's all you need. So delicious. Now don't touch it until they've developed browning on the bottom. Don't be stirring it because you don't get browning if you keep stirring it, all right? All right, I'm seeing some browning at the bottom of my pieces. Just gonna give it a quick stir. Woohoo, look at that. Oh, doesn't that look good? Now, depending on the amount of effort you're willing to put into this, you can sit there and individually flip all of them so you get both sides seared, or you can just call it a day and be done with it. So it's up to you. All right, and I think I am happy with that. Woo. And now I'm just gonna go relax for a little bit. Oh, look at that. That just looks so good. So this took me about an hour and a half, and about halfway through, I left the lid ajar because I wanted the liquid to evaporate until I have about this much. So just keep an eye on sort of the level of liquid, and if it's gone too far, you can just add a little bit of water back in. Now there's only one more thing to do, and that is to stir in our sauteed pineapple. Pour all the collected juice, that's all flavor. You don't want to cook the pineapple to death. I just like to give it another like 5 minutes to simmer to allow the flavors to exchange and mingle. Now, make sure you taste it. Taste it, don't forget. Taste the sauce and adjust. Oh, it's perfect. You want a balance of salty and sour, a touch of creamy sweetness from the pineapple and the coconut milk. Perfect. Now, as an option, you can add some fresh cilantro or green onions, just so you know, for fish and giggles. Oh, yes. Now, this being pork belly, there is a lot of fat that is part of the sauce. If that concerns you, you can let it sit overnight and the fat will solidify on top and you can scrape that off. But it doesn't concern me. Oh, looks so good. Oh, so tender. I can just pull that apart with my fork. Oh, I gotta get that fatty bit. Piece of pineapple, some rice. That pineapple is the best thing that fatty piece of pork could ask for. That top layer of the pork belly, the skin and the fat, it's like soft and juicy and tender. It just goes so well with the tart, fresh pineapple. I mean, these two things are just complement each other incredibly well. The flavor is just the perfect balance of tart and salty, a touch of sweet. Whew. Man, I have to say, like, I do prefer this one to my chicken adobo one. Like, that's a legit recipe in its own right, but this kind of just takes the whole thing to the next level. So I definitely encourage you to give it a go and let me know what you think. And as always, if you want to suggest another type of adobo, let me know in the comments below. So the recipe, as always, is on pieskitchen.com. When you make it, send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, make sure you do so you don't miss an episode like this. Click the bell icon as well so you get a notification when I post a new video. And if you love the show and you want to support us, check out our Patreon link in the description box below, and I will see you next time for your next delicious adventure. Now I'm just gonna go relax for a little bit.